Hi guys, this is Galati. I hope you all are doing really, really well. Um, I wanted to take the time to actually read you your first assignment because if you are using Amplify, you'll realize that since this is in the form of a play, that you it doesn't have a space where you can listen to it. So I'm going to read you the first part, including all of the stage notes for the first part. If you are using the book, we are going to start on page 23, which is Act 1, Scene 1, and we will end with, if I can get to it, um, page 35, which is at the top. That will, if you're on Amplify, be automatically on Amplify. So you can read along as I am reading to you, and that will help with understanding what is going on in the play. Okay. Some of the background for this is that Lorraine Hansberry wrote this play. It is a remarkable story. It deals with a lot of different issues. Family, it deals with hope, and it also deals with racism. Um, and it brings to light some of the things that happened on the south side of Chicago, probably during the 1950s. So you will get a little bit of insight into how people were um, treated just because of the color of their skin. So we are going to start, and it centers around the Younger family. There are several different main characters. Ruth Younger, Travis Younger, who is the son, Walter Lee, which is the husband of Ruth, Benitha, which is the sister, um, Lena Younger, which is Mama. So those are kind of the main characters that you're going to meet right now. And I'm going to first start with Act 1, Scene 1, the stage directions, which will describe what the apartment that they live in looks like. Okay, so I am starting on page 23 for all of you in the book and at the very beginning of Amplify for the first lesson. The younger living room would be a comfortable and well-ordered living room if it were not for a number of indestructible contradictions to this state of being. Its furnishings are typical and undistinguished, and their primary feature now is that they have clearly had to accommodate the living of too many people for too many years, and they are tired. Still, we can see that at some time, a time probably no longer remembered by the family except perhaps for Mama, the furnishings of this room were actually selected with care and love and even hope, and brought to this apartment and arranged with taste and pride. That was a long time ago. Now the once loved pattern of the couch upholstery has to fight to show itself from under acres of crocheted doilies and couch covers, which have themselves finally come to be more important than the upholstery. And here a table or a chair has been moved to disguise the worn places in the carpet, but the carpet has fought back by showing its weariness with depressing uniformity elsewhere on its surface. Weariness has in fact won in this room. Everything has been polished, washed, sat on, used, scrubbed too often. All pretenses but living itself have long since vanished from the very atmosphere of this room. Moreover, a section of this room, for it is not really a room unto itself, though the landlord's lease would make it seem so, slopes backward to provide a small kitchen area where the family prepares the meals that are eaten in the living room proper, which must also serve as the dining room. The single window that has been provided for those two rooms is located in the kitchen. The sole natural light of the family may that the family may enjoy in the course of a day is only that which fights its way through a little window. At left, a door leads to a bedroom, which is shared by Mamma and her daughter Benita. At right, opposite, is a second room, which in the beginning of the life of the apartment was probably a breakfast room, which serves as a bedroom for Walter and his wife Ruth. The time? Sometime between World War II and the present. The place? Chicago's South Side. At rise, it is morning, dark in the living room. Travis, the son, is asleep on the make-down bed at center. An alarm clock sounds from within the bedroom at right, and presently Ruth enters from that room and closes the door behind her. She crosses sleepily toward the window as she passes her sleeping son. She reaches down and shakes him a little. At the window she raises the shade, and a dusky south side morning light comes in feebly. She fills a pot with water and puts it on to boil. She calls to the boy between yawns in a slightly muffled voice. Ruth is about 30. We can see that was a pretty girl, even exceptionally so. But now it is apparent that life has been a little more than she expected, and disappointment has already begun to hang in her face. In a few years, before 35 even, she will be known among her people as a settled woman. She crosses to her son and gives him a good final rousing shake. Ruth says, "Come on now, boy, it's 7:30." Her son sits up at last in a stupor of sleepiness. I say, hurry up, Travis. You ain't the only person in the world that's got to use the bathroom. The child, a sturdy, handsome little boy of 10 or 11, drags himself out of bed and almost blindly takes his towels and his today's clothes from the drawers in a closet and goes out to the bathroom, which is in an outside hall and which is shared by another family or families on the same floor. Ruth crosses to the bedroom door at right and opens it and calls into her husband. "Walter Lee, it's after 7:30. Let me see you do some waking up in there." She waits. "You better get up from there, man. It's after 7:30, I tell you." She waits again. "All right, you just go ahead and lay there, and next thing you know, Travis be finished, and Mr. Johnson will be in there, and you'll be fussing and cussing round here like a madman, and be late, too." She waits at the end of her patience. "Walter Lee, it's time for you to get up." She waits another second, and then starts to go in the bedroom, but apparently satisfied that her husband has begun to get up. She stops, pulls the door to, and returns to the kitchen area. She wipes her face with a moist cloth and runs her fingers through her sleep disheveled hair in a vain effort and ties an apron around her housecoat. The bedroom door at right opens, and her husband stands in the doorway in his pajamas, which are rumpled and mismatched. He is a lean, intense young man in his middle thirties, inclined to quick nervous movements and erratic speech habits, and always in his voice there's a quality of indictment. "Is he out yet?" Walter says. "What you mean out? He ain't hardly got in there good yet," Bruce says. Walter says, wandering in, still more oriented to sleep than to a new day. "Well, what you doing all that yelling for if I can't even get in there yet?" Stopping and thinking. "Check coming today?" Ruth says, "They said Saturday, and this is just Friday, and I hopes to God you ain't gonna get up here first thing in the morning and start talking to me about no money, 'cause I 'bout don't want to hear it." Walter says, "Something in the matter with you this morning?" Ruth, "No, I'm just sleepy as a devil. What kind of eggs you want?" Walter says, "Not scrambled." Ruth starts to scramble the eggs anyway. "Paper come?" Ruth points impatiently to the rolled up Tribune on the table, and he gets it and spreads it out and vaguely reads the front page. "Set off another bomb yesterday." Ruth, maximum indifference. "Did they?" Walter, looking up. "What's the matter with you?" "Ain't nothing the matter with me, and don't keep asking me that this morning." Walter says, "Ain't nobody bothering you?" Reading the news of the day absently again. "Say, Coroner McCormick is sick." Ruth says, affecting Tea Party interest. "Is he now? Poor thing." Walter, sighing and looking at his watch. "Oh, me." He waits. "Now, what is that boy doing in that bathroom all this time? He just gonna have to start getting up earlier. I can't be late to work on account of him fooling around in there." Ruth, turning on him. "Oh, no. He ain't going to getting up any earlier. No such thing. It ain't his fault that he can't get to bed no earlier nights 'cause he got a bunch of crazy good for nothing clowns sitting up running their mouths in what's supposed to be in his bedroom after 10 o'clock at night." Walter, "That's what you mad about, ain't it? The things I want to talk about with my friends just couldn't be important in your mind, could they?" He rises and finds a cigarette in her handbag on the table and crosses to the little window and looks out, smoking and deeply enjoying this first cigarette. Ruth says, almost matter of factly, complaint too automatic to deserve emphasis, "Why you always gotta smoke before you eat in the morning?" Walter, at the window, "Just look at him down there, running and racing to work." He turns and faces his wife and watches her a moment at the stove and then, suddenly, "You look young this morning, baby." Ruth, indifferently, "Yeah." Walter, "Just for a second stirring them eggs, just for a second it was, you looked real young again." He reaches for her and she crosses away. "Ugh, it's gone now. You look like yourself again." Ruth, "Man, if you don't shut up and leave me alone." Walter, looking out in the street again. "First thing a man ought to learn in life is not to make love to a colored woman first thing in the morning. Y'all some evil people at 8 o'clock in the morning." Travis appears in the hall doorway, almost fully dressed and quite wide awake now. His towels and pajamas around his shoulders, he opens the door and signals for his father to make the bathroom in a hurry. Travis watching the bathroom. "Daddy, come on." Walter gets his bathroom utensils and flies out the bathroom door. "Sit down and have your breakfast, Travis," Ruth says. "Mama, this is Friday," he says gleefully. "Check coming tomorrow, huh?" Ruth says, "You get your mind off money and eat the breakfast." "This is the morning we supposed to bring the 50 cents to school," Travis said. "Well, I ain't got no 50 cents this morning." "Teacher said we have to." "I don't care what teachers say. I ain't got it. Eat your breakfast, Travis." "I am eating." "Hush up now and just eat." The boy gives her an exasperated look for her lack of understanding, and eats grudgingly. Travis says, "You think Grandma would have it?" "No, and I want you to stop asking your grandmother for money. You hear me?" Outraged. "Well, golly, I don't ask her. She just give me it sometimes." Ruth says, "Travis Willard's younger. I got too much on me this morning to be—" Travis says, "Maybe Daddy." "Travis!" The boy hushes abruptly. They are both quiet and tense for several seconds. Travis said, "Could I maybe go carry some groceries in front of the supermarkets for a little while after school then?" Ruth says, "Just hush, I said." Travis jabs at his spoon in his cereal bowl viciously and rests his head in anger upon his fist. "If you through eating, you can get over there and make up your bed." The boy obeys stiffly and crosses the room almost mechanically to the bed and more or less folds the bedding into a heap, then angrily gets his books and cap. Travis sulking and standing apart from her unnaturally. "I'm gone." Ruth, looking up from the stove to inspect him automatically. "Come here." He crosses to her and she studies his head. "If you don't take this comb and fix this head, you better." Travis puts down his books with a great sigh of oppression and crosses to the mirror. His mother mutters under her breath about his stubbornness. "About to march me out of here with that head looking just like chicken slept in it. I just don't know where you get your stubbornness ways. And get your jacket, too. Looks chilly out this morning." Travis, with conspicuously brushed hair and jacket. "I'm gone." Ruth, "Get car fare and milk money," waving one finger, "and not a single penny for no caps. You hear me?" "Yes'm." He turns in outrage to leave. His mother watches after him in his frustration he approaches the door almost comically. When she speaks to him, her voice has become a very gentle tease. Ruth says, "Oh, Mama, makes me so mad sometimes. I don't know what to do." She waits and continues to his back as he stands stock still in the front of the door. "I wouldn't kiss that woman goodbye for nothing in this world this morning." The boy finally turns around and rolls his eyes at her, knowing the mood has changed and he is vindicated. He does not, however, move toward her yet. "Not for nothing in this world." She finally laughs aloud at him and holds out her arms to him, and we see that it is a way between them, very old and practiced. He crosses to her and allows her to embrace him warmly, but keeps his face fixed with masculine rigidity. She holds him back from her presently and looks at him and runs her fingers over the features of his face with utter gentleness. "Now, whose little old angry man are you?" "Oh, golly, Ma." Ruth, "Oh, golly, Ma," mockingly. She pushes him with rough playfulness and finality toward the door. Get on out of here, or you're going to be late. Travis, in the face of love and new aggressiveness. Mama, could I please go carry groceries? Honey, it's starting to get so cold evenings. Walter comes back in from the bathroom, drawing a make believe gun from a make believe holster and shooting at his son. What is it he wants to do? Ruth, go carry groceries after school at the supermarket. Well, let him go. Travis, quickly, I have to. She won't give me the 50 cents. Walter to his wife, why not? Ruth simply and with flavor. 'Cause we don't have it. Walter to Ruth only. What you tell the boy things like that for? Reaching down into his pants with a rather important gesture. Here, son. He hands the boy the coin, but his eyes are directed to his wife's. Travis takes the money happily. Thanks, Daddy, Travis says. He starts out. Ruth snatches both of them with murder in her eyes. Walter stands and stares back at her with defiance and suddenly reaches into his pocket again on an afterthought. Walter, without even looking at his son, still staring hard at his wife. In fact, here's another 50 cents. Buy yourself some fruit today, or take a taxi cab to school or something. Whoopee, Travis said. He leaps up and clasps his father around the middle with his legs, and they face each other in mutual appreciation. Slowly, Walter Lee peeks around the boy to catch the violent rays from his wife's eyes and draws his head back as if shot. You better get down now. Get to school, man. Travis. Okay, goodbye. Walter, after him, pointing with pride. That's my boy. She looks at him in disgust and turns back to her work. You know what I was thinking about in the bathroom this morning? No. How come you always try to be so pleasant? What is there to be pleasant about? You want to know what I was thinking about in the bathroom or not? Ruth says, I know what you're thinking about. Walter ignoring her. About that, what me and Willie Harris was talking about last night. Ruth immediately. Willie Harris is a good for nothing loudmouth. Walter says, anybody who talks to me, has got to be a good for nothing loudmouth, ain't it? And what you know about who is just a good for nothing loudmouth? Charlie Atkin was just a good for nothing loudmouth too, wasn't he? When he wanted me to go in the dry cleaning business with him, and now he's grossing 100,000 a year. 100,000 a year. You still call him a loudmouth? Bitterly, Ruth says, Oh, Walter Lee. She holds her head on her arms over the table. Walter Lee, rising and coming to her and standing over her. You tired, ain't you? Tired of everything. Me, the boy, the way we live, this beat up hole, everything, ain't you? She she doesn't look up, doesn't even answer. So tired, moaning and groaning all the time, but you wouldn't do nothing to help, would you? You couldn't be on my side that long for nothing, could you? Walter, please leave me alone. A man needs a woman to back him up. Walter, Mama would listen to you. You know she listened to you more than she do to me and Benny. She thinks more of you. All you have to do is just sit with her when you're drinking your coffee one morning and talking about things like you do. And he sits down beside her and demonstrates graphically what he thinks her methods and tone should be. You just sip your coffee and stay easy like that. You've been thinking about that deal Walter Lee is so interested in, about the store and all, and sip some more coffee, like what you say it ain't really that important to you. And the next thing you know, she'll be listening good and asking you questions. When I come home, I can tell her the details. This ain't no fly by night proposition, baby. I mean, we figured it out, me and William Bobo. Bobo? Ruth asked. Yeah, you see, this little liquor store we got in mine cost 75,000. And we figure the initial investment on the place be about 30,000. That'd be 10,000 each. Of course, there's a couple of hundred you gotta pay, so you don't spend your life just waiting for them clowns to let your license get approved. You mean graft? Walter frowning impatiently. Don't call it that. See there, that just goes to show you what women understand about the world. Baby, don't nothing happen for you in this world unless you pay somebody off. Walter, leave me alone. She raises her head and stares at him vigorously, then says more quietly, Eat your eggs. They're gonna be cold. Walter straightening up from her and looking off. That's it. There you are. Man says to his woman, I got a dream. His woman say, Eat your eggs. Sadly but gaining in power. Man says, I got a hold of this here world, baby. And a woman will say, eat your eggs and go to work. Man say, I gotta change my life. I'm talking to Jeff, baby. And his woman say, your eggs is getting cold. Walter, that ain't none of our money. This morning, Walter says, I was looking in the mirror and thinking about it. I'm 35 years old. I've been married 11 years and I got a boy who sleeps in the living room. Oh, I got to give him in stories about how rich white people live. Eat your eggs, Walter. Walter slams the table. Damn my eggs. Damn all the eggs that ever was. Then go to work. Walter, looking up at her. See? I'm trying to talk to you about myself. Shaking his head. And all you can say is eat them eggs and go to work. Honey, you never say nothing new. I listen to you every day, every night, and every morning, Ruth says. And you never say nothing new. So you would rather be Mr. Arnold than be his chauffeur? So I would rather be in Buckingham Palace. This is just what is wrong with the colored woman in this world, Walter said. Don't understand about building their men up and making them feel like they somebody, like they can do something. Ruth, there are colored men who do nothing, do things. Walter, no thanks to the colored women. Well, being a colored woman, I guess I can't help myself none. She rises and gets the ironing board and sets it up and attacks a huge pile of rough, dried clothes, sprinkling them in preparation for the ironing and then rolling them into tight, fat balls. Walter mumbling. We one group of men tied to a race of women with small minds. That would be your first reading. And I hope that that helps a little bit. Um, know that we will try to upload more videos for the following readings. And I will try to be a little bit, I will be accessible all day during the day between 8 and 3 if you need me via email, reminds, or you can send me a message on Schoology. And I will also set up times that I will put out there for when we can all get together on Zoom or Google Meet. And I will get that information out there forthcoming. I hope you guys stay well. I'll talk to you soon.